Are you a CPO looking to build a team that drives success? Let's break down the key strategies that you need to know. So if you're a CPO or a product leader, your success is going to be defined by the success of your team. So it's very important that you really understand how to build successful teams that are going to help the company, the business being successful, and hence they are going to help you be more successful. Successful product teams obviously are going to build products that are going to be more appealing to the customers, that they are going to solve those problems that the customers have, and that they are going to have an impact on the business. The first strategy is that you need to have a clear vision and a strategy. Well, you are probably thinking that, well, that goes without saying, and it is true that obviously you have to have the clear vision and a strategy to understand what is your focus area, what is your goal, and how you are going to get there. And don't get distracted about all the other potential shiny objects that are on your path. But having defined a clear vision and a strategy is going to help you identify potential gaps that you're going to have or that your team might have because of potentially lack of competence or lack of people to be able to deliver on that strategy. This is going to be one of the first things for you to take into account when you are building teams. Understand what is your strategy and do I have the team to deliver on that strategy and achieve that vision. And you had to be critical that a strategy and vision might take years to achieve. So you had to maybe lay out the plans on when do you need certain competencies to be introduced into your teams. The second strategy is that you had to clarify what are the roles and responsibilities of your team. This is probably something that you would expect. It's probably something that I very rarely seen done in companies. In some companies, there might be some kind of competency matrix and stuff like that, but usually there's not a very clear definition of the responsibilities of the team and which roles are actually fulfilling those competencies that are required to do the job. If you understand your competences, the competences of your team, if you understand what are the responsibilities and the areas of that your team has to cover, this is going to help you understand if you have a team that has the competence to actually deliver on those responsibilities and roles that you have defined. So think, for example, if you are building an app and you are, as everybody else is going, for AI features or AI enhancements into your app, if you don't have any product managers in your team that understand AI or that they have worked with AI or they have some kind of knowledge on how to build AI solutions, you probably have a competence gap in your team that you probably will have to look into fulfilling in the future. So how you can do this? You have to define what are the roles that you will have in your teams. Are you going to have product managers, regular product managers, whatever that means in practice nowadays? Are you going to have technical product managers? Are you going to have commercial product managers, AI product managers, growth product managers? What type of product managers do you need to actually deliver on your responsibilities that you have as a team of product, whatever your product team is called, by the way? They have many different names. If you find this video useful, please give it a like so other product leaders can find it in YouTube. The third strategy is going to be building a competency matrix. If you have done the roles and responsibilities, building the competency matrix is relatively straightforward, and some people have done that already once they have done the roles and the responsibilities. Why you do this? Well, what you do here is you're not just in the theoretical level of the roles and responsibilities of your team. Now you're looking into your actual team members and evaluating the skill sets and how do they, let's say, score against different competencies that you need in those responsibilities. So you probably are going to do something like product discovery. Some people are going to be really good at that. Some people are going to be really good at execution. Some people are going to be really good at prioritization. Some people are going to be really good at AI. Some people are going to be really good at, cloud computing, whatnot. And some people are going to be very good in business and commercial related topics. So having this skill set and having this competency matrix, you're going to be able to evaluate what is the skills of people. And this is not just to know if people don't know how to do their job. You want to see that your team is balanced. You want to understand that, hey, these are all the things that I need, but I have gaps in certain areas. So let's say, for example, I am in a planning to build a SaaS product and I don't have anybody in the product team that really understands how SaaS businesses are built or SaaS products. This can be a potential problem and something that maybe you will have to bring that person into your team that will actually know how to do that work. You need to fulfill that competence. The strategy number 4 is going to be building a culture and the ways of working or defining them if you don't have them. You, as a CPO, you should be able to influence what is the culture and the ways of working of your team. Like, it goes probably without saying, but if you don't establish a culture in your team, the culture will just happen organically, whether you like it or not. And the question is that culture a good culture or is it not? Why do you have to have a culture? Well, you have to promote things like openness, trustworthiness, collaboration, bringing value, being innovative, being hardworking, whatnot. If you are not bringing that culture and if you are not demonstrating this culture yourself, this culture really is rarely going to work. So you have to be, if you're a leader, you have to show first. You have to be the first one to show that collaboration is important, openness is important, innovation is important. If I'm not doing those things, why is my team going to do them? So you have to demonstrate as a leader that you can do those things and drive the team to be to come with you in that journey. That's why you are a leader. You should care less maybe about the CPO title and more about being a leader and show by example or lead by example. When you're defining all these ways of working, processes, whatnot, you are establishing also parts of the culture and aspects of that culture that your team is going to have. This is going to be very key also when you are bringing people into your team. Of course, you want people that have different perspectives, that have different backgrounds, so they bring different experiences, but you also want to have certain, let's say, codes of conduct, which is the culture usually, that are going to be something that everybody in the team agrees upon. So if you think that collaboration, openness, innovation is the most important thing, if you bring people that don't want to talk, or people that don't want to innovate, or people that don't want to share their plans openly, then basically you are going to build a problem for yourself. So it's good to have a culture. This is going to help you identify what are those team members that are going to fit into that way of working that you want to promote in the company. The 5th strategy is that you want to make sure that you have a career development path for your PMs or the team members of your product team. So now that we have done all this study, now that we have understood better where our team members are, where the members of our team are, now we can start planning what are going to be the development career or the potential development opportunities for them. This is not something that you have to do on your own. You cannot go and tell somebody that this is the development path that you're going to have. This is a conversation, something that you have to agree with them to understand where are their interests and how you can help fulfill those interests based on the needs that you have in the company. So basically you are building those career paths for those product managers in your team. You also have to evaluate if you have the ability or the possibility of having an associate PM program. This is not something that most of the companies can afford. It requires a lot of time from other product managers, and it requires a lot of expertise to help those associate PMs grow and develop internally in the company. But if you manage to do it, you can get people that have not so much experience and help them develop through those first stages of their product management career, and really get people that are very competent in a relatively short period of time by giving them those experiences within the organization by sharing the knowledge that other team members have. But this means that you have to have that bandwidth. This means that you probably have to have a relatively large team, and also the budget and the approval from all the other executive or management team to make sure that this can move forward. Developing talent internally is going to be great for you because you are going to ensure the long-term success of your team. Plus, you're going to also reduce hiring costs. And when you're planning this development of the teams, you also have to look into what levels of seniority do you have in the teams. You could argue that you could integrate this into the roles and responsibilities or in the competency matrix. It is up to you, but in the end, you have to understand what is the ratio of product managers that you have compared to the senior product managers that you have compared to the principal product managers that you have compared to the associate product managers that you have. If you only have one senior product manager in your company and you decide to bring 5 associate product managers into your company, that's probably not going to work. So probably you have to think about how you balance this. And you probably, yes, you don't want to have, you probably are never going to have too many senior in the compared to the people that have less experience. But what you cannot have is a ton of people that have very little experience and then very few people or almost nobody that has a lot of experience. So you have to understand which one is the balance for you. So by implementing all these strategies, there are different outcomes that you are going to get. First of all, you are going to know or understand better what's the current situation of your team and how you can move it forward in the future, how you can help them develop. You can also use this information to do budgeting and to do planning of recruitments in the future based on the headcounts that you get. Of course, that's the limitations that you will always have when you are in an executive or in a management role. And we know how it goes. You probably get less than you would like to. By implementing these strategies, you are actually also going to ensure that your team is successful. You are going to really look into what are the capabilities that you need and what is the level of competency that they have and how you can help them address those competency gaps that they may have and how you are going to help them also grow in their career, but also bringing value and impact to the business. As well, you are also going to be able to establish a product, culture, and ways of working for your teams to be successful. So if you're a CPO or a product leader who's looking to build a product team, what is your biggest challenge? Let us know in the comments below. And just as a piece of news before I close the video, I just want to let you know that I'm preparing my first course that is going to help you establish the processes and the ways of working, either if you are a product manager or if you are a CPO who is trying to establish a way of working for your team to reduce confusion and to bring value and impact for the business. So sign to my newsletter if you want to get more news about this. I will see you in the next one, and remember, stay safe.